right, last night, I love this. I don't like this. I love this. I love when the clowns in the media look stupid, and I love when a guy like Patrick Mahomes makes the clowns in the media look stupid. Look, last night, Patrick Mahomes was dynamite. On the road, big game. People my age will remember when it was Oakland and it was Kansas City. It was always like the 4 o'clock game, right? It was a big one. It was a massive one. Let me get in the middle here. I'm too comfortable. It was humongous. And then last night it was humongous again. And that was the easiest bet ever, by the way. I mean, 2.5 on the road against a team that's had all the troubles that the Oakland Raiders have, a rudderless ship right now with a phony quarterback. No. That was the easiest. But I go back to all of the folks that said, well, you know, Patrick Mahomes and, the offense is broke. It's broke. No, the offense is not broke, and Patrick Mahomes is still a stud, and anybody that doesn't think so is foolish for even thinking anything other than Patrick Mahomes is a freaking stud. The man is a stud. Okay, he's had a couple good games. You know the last undefeated team in the NFL is 1972. Do you know why it's the last undefeated team in the NFL? Would you like to know why? Because it's hard to go undefeated. So you're going to have a few crap games. I'm going to get into that with Tom Brady here in a minute. 35 of 50, 406 yards, 5 touchdowns, 0 interceptions for Patrick Mahomes. Oh, by the way, it was on the road against a rival. Yeah, that offense is really broke. Every morning show that I watch, well, the offense is broke. Okay, really? I don't think it's broke. I think it's just fine. I think it went through something that a lot of teams go through. I like that Travis Kelce say, hey, look, man, I got my swag back. 8 catches, 119 yards. They just beat the living hell out of the Raiders. That was the easiest money that there was. I got to start sharing these bets on Twitter. By the way, I am on Twitter, if you haven't noticed. All right, let's go to this. How about the Titans at 8-2, 6 in a row? Nobody gives the Titans any respect. Do I need to do this every week? I think I do. The Titans have beaten, starting from yesterday backwards, the Saints, which everybody tells me has the greatest coach in the history of the world. I really like Sean Payton. At the Rams, at the Colts, the Chiefs, the Bills, and at the Jags. Now, you tell me. I mean, who else are you supposed to beat? I guess maybe Tampa Bay isn't in there, and maybe it should be. I don't know. But when we review it, this is the best team in football right now. This team has won on the road against good teams. This team has won at home. This team has won without Derrick Henry. I'm going to get into the whole Tannehill thing. If you haven't noticed, I got something that's bothering me right there. Man, it's killing me. Next week, it's the Texans. I'm thinking it's going to be 7-0. I think it's going to be 3-0 without the best running back in the league. I'll get into who the best running back is, and it's clearly Jonathan Taylor of the Colts. I told you that last week. Couple of other interesting things from last night. Aaron Rodgers is my favorite football player. I do not care whether that makes me a good guy. I don't care whether that makes me a bad guy. I don't care what it makes me in your mind. He wasn't. I was a Bears fan growing up, grew up just outside Chicago. Never really cared for him except when I would watch him in the evening, like now when it was getting dark outside and he was playing the 4 o'clock game and he was leading a team back. I love watching him play. He's the guy, Aaron Rodgers, that I want with the football, down a score, and I got to go to length of the field. Aaron Rodgers winning yesterday 17-0 was absolutely fantastic. All the garbage that guy has taken over the last 2 weeks, all the crap, all the uninformed nonsense by so many people, and I'm just not talking about sports people. I'm talking about people of government. I'm talking about people in national front page media, governmental, whatever you want. He's taking the crap, and you know what he did? He went out and played. 23 of 37, 292. And he went mano-a-mano, threw a horrible interception, but so did Wilson. Russell Wilson, man, I love the guy, but he wasn't very good yesterday. Green Bay wins 17-0. You rarely see a shutout in the NFL. You saw one yesterday. And I got to tell you, and I'm going to get into this later in the show, how Aaron Rodgers has been treated differently, way differently than what Ben Roethlisberger was, who had to sit out. I'll get into that in a minute. The Cowboys, if there are two teams in sports you never bet on. One is the Atlanta Falcons and one is the Indiana Hoosiers football team. You never bet on them. Don't ever do it. If you're thinking about doing it, do yourself a favor. Ball up your fist, smash yourself in the side of the face, and hope you get a concussion and you forget that you were thinking about betting on the Atlanta Falcons or the Indiana football Hoosiers. Just simply don't do it. People got a little bit excited about Atlanta. They had a win last week. Now Dallas is down. Woo, that game was over early, and Dak Prescott was really good. How about this? So Dak Prescott goes 24 for 31, 296 yards, okay? And that's great. Terrific. 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, fantastic. His subs came in. Cooper Rush and some other dude. They went 4 for 4 for 21 yards. Like it was a damn party against Atlanta. Matt Ryan, awful. And you got to stand up and give credit to Mike McCarthy, Dak Prescott, and that entire team. A couple of other things that touched me last night. Cam Newton, I've always been a big Cam Newton fan. I'll tell you why. Like we all been 18 to 22, right? We've all been this age. So Cam Newton is like 21, 22, and he's at Auburn. His dad tries to, I guess, get some money for his services, all that kind of stuff, and whatever. It's national news, and he's at Auburn. I don't know how many of you remember this, but this is why I've always liked Cam Newton. Because Cam Newton, as an 18 to 22-year, whatever the hell age he was, kind of smiled, led Auburn to an undefeated season and a national championship. I always admired that because I always think, man, if I was 18 to 22 and I had the national media all over me, I'd be a wreck. I'd be a freaking train wreck. But what did he do? He led him to a national championship. What did he do when he's back at Carolina? First 2 times he touched the ball, touchdowns. Good for him. He went with this, and he went with the I'm back, and it was absolutely freaking glorious. Now, Lauren, our producer here, she's a massive New England Patriots fan, which most fans that are New England Patriot fans aren't just kind of Patriot fans, but they are humongous Patriot fans. Well, Mac Jones, and I'm going to get into Mac Jones a little bit later, where he should have been drafted, but Mac Jones, you can say, as Stephanie's husband Larry did to me last night, Stephanie, another one of our producers, her husband Larry, he's like, well, he's in a great system. He's a Jets fan. You ever seen the Curb Your Enthusiasm? You ever see the episode where Larry's friend, the Jets fan, commits suicide over the Jets? That's Jets fan. I'm not talking about the suicide. I'm talking about the anger, the angst, and it should be because the Mike White era didn't look so good. But anyway, back to Mac Jones. All Mac Jones did yesterday was go mano-a-mano with Baker Mayfield, I guess, however much you can go mano-a-mano with another quarterback, but mano-a-mano with the Cleveland Browns defense, went 19 to 23 for 198 yards, 3 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. Now, I don't know about you, but that's pretty good. And I'll tell you something else. As a running back, I could run behind Bill Belichick at different times and run for 100 yards. You remember the name Jonas Gray? Jonas Gray ran for like 300 yards against the Colts in a huge game. Never was seen again. In fact, got cut a few weeks later for doing something stupid I can't remember. So yesterday was a kid named Stevenson, a 4th-round pick. He just went for 100 yards, never had more than 62, but it's a big game. Belichick don't care. He's just going to throw a guy in there, and away we go. But I'm telling you this. I'm going to tell you where I think Mac Jones should have been drafted last year. The stunner of the day was the Washington football team. I think that's as stunning as any. 29-19, Tom Brady, But Tom Brady's going to have some games. The only thing we're waiting on for Tom Brady is playoff games. That's it. We're not waiting for a regular season game in the middle of November against the Washington football team. Taylor Hanke, pretty good. He was really good, actually. But we're not waiting on Tom Brady now. Tom Brady's not going to lead his team to an undefeated season. You know what Tom Brady's going to do? Tom Brady's going to be all right 1 week, pretty good the next, great 1 week, not so good. Dude's 59 years old. Dude's older than me. We drank beers together when we were in college. Tom Brady is not going to do this every week, so cut the guy a little bit of slack, will you please?